So I'm just in the middle of digging out my border. This is the one that had the black currants and the rhubarb in, and this is where I'm going to be putting my potatoes. Now, a key thing to remember when you're digging out a border is obviously you want to get as much roots and pieces of stick like this and weeds out that you can, particularly if you're planting new plants in there or seeds. I think another thing to think about is if you've got small weeds, as long as you're turning them over so that their roots are exposed to the air and they're getting dried out, and the leaves that help them photosynthesize are buried, then that will kill them off when they're within the border. But you only really want to do that if you've got a dry day like today. If it's wet or drizzly, then it will allow those roots of those weeds to get back into the soil and carry on producing those plants. So you want to try and get them out in that instance. The other thing I'm going to be doing is trying to improve the soil by adding my homemade compost in that compost bin there that we've made into the border. I think a key thing to remember is where you can, you're best not digging that compost in. If you don't need to dig a border like this, then don't. I'm only doing it because it's been like this for a few years. But if you can use a no-dig method, it's much better for the environment, as it doesn't release those, you're right, Cookie, as it doesn't release those gases out of the soil into the atmosphere. What I'll do is put that compost on top of the border and allow the worms, if there's any left after my chickens vet most of them, allow the worms to pull that compost into the soil and to improve it, because it'll be a few weeks until the soil's warm enough for me to put my potatoes in.